RITC CyberSecurity, empowering businesses with robust cybersecurity protection.
Welcome to the Ciphered Reality Podcast from RITC CyberSecurity, small businesses partner with proactive cybersecurity. I am Mike Rotundo here with my co-host, as always, Mari Cherry, where we unravel the mysteries of cybersecurity one bite at a time. For digital heist to hacker exploits, we uncover online threats and the strategies to stay ahead. Whether you're an IT pro, small business owner, or just are safeguarding your personal stuff, or trying to keep your kids from going on websites that they don't need to go on. This is your guide to the cyber world. Today we are going through some cybersecurity news and discussing what, Mari?
We're going to be discussing device theft and security.
Sounds good to me. Let's start with some news, though.
Okay. News story number 1.
Okay.
File fix attack exploits Windows browser loophole to evade mark of the web security. I didn't know what mark of the web security was, so I had to look it up. But why don't you'll probably give us a better explanation of what that is, what that means.
It's just a security control from Microsoft that validates what you're pulling down.
Literally
Right?
just a little mark. They're just like, boop.
Yeah.
There
Yep.
you go.
Yep.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I had to look it up. It sounded
Yeah.
like something else I've heard of. Mark of the Beast, but that's
Yep. That's exactly what I was thinking.
yeah. Maybe it's the same thing.
You never
I
know.
don't know.
With Microsoft, they could be putting a 666 on everything.
You do love Microsoft.
They are my favorites.
I know. Anyway, so let's get back to what is going on here. So this says a newly identified attacker vector dubbed the file fix attack. So that's okay. It's not the best. It's not the
No, we've
best.
heard better.
For sure. So they've surfaced, exploiting a subtle yet critical loophole in how modern browsers like Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge handle saved web content. So what would be the point of them bypassing this, though? That's what I was trying to figure out.
Well, the whole idea is to push malware or some misconfigured website or something that they can use to exploit your
Right.
computer by
Right.
getting around this mark of the web.
So if they do get around it, that just makes it easier for them?
Yeah, because if they can get around that control and you download something from the internet, then you don't know what you're downloading, right? They
Oh,
can
got it.
piggyback, software on it. And some had to do with, it'll tell you to save the website, like you'll get a pop-up saying this has to be saved with like .mta at the end of it or dot something like that at the end of it. Well, that's what they need, the file extension they need for their malware to kick off. So you think you're trusting it because Microsoft has this great control, as we've learned in the last 2 podcasts,
For sure.
that because of that, that you're trusting what you're getting and you're downloading it.
Got it.
And so once it's down,
So it's almost like a stamp of approval.
yeah,
This
it's
mark of
like
the
a
web.
signature. Like you can't run anything on an Apple device that isn't signed by Apple or a approved developer or something like that.
Okay, so it's actually the opposite of what I was thinking.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. Okay, that makes more sense because I was reading this and I was like, first of all, I don't know what the mark of the web security is. I don't know what
Right.
that means. And so I had to look it up and then, okay, talking through it makes more sense why they'd want to bypass it. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Browser exploits are like number 2 to phishing. So,
cool. Those.
yeah,
I mean, fishing is a relaxing hobby. Maybe that's why they do it.
could be. Fly fishing is dangerous, however, for users.
It is, but I mean, maybe we'll get that out there eventually. I don't know.
We're trying.
Yeah.
Everybody
They
who's
also
listening, tell your friends.
tell
Fly
your
fishing.
friend. Yes, fly fishing. I've never actually tried it. There's a section in here. It says social engineering meets technical exploitation. So they're also throwing in some social engineering in here. What were your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, social engineering, anytime that you're trying to manipulate a human being to do something, right? And, the number one thing they use is fear, right?
Right,
Urgency.
right.
You've got to do this right now. And because of all the misinformation or the People that just have like snippets of information on cybersecurity think they understand something, so they see something on the web that they trust and say, "Yeah, you're not there." Say, it says you got to do this to be secure. They're going
Hmm.
to do it because they think, why would the computer lie to me? Right?
Sure.
Because I have all these security controls in place. Well,
Right.
no.
Okay. Oh man, sometimes it is just vicious.
Yes.
Anyway, that's kind of all I had for that one. If there was something that stood out to you from that from that news
I,
story, really
I
just the mark of the web security. I had no idea about that before I read
Yeah.
it.
No, it's everything's going to have a social engineering component. So, and it's by that extension, then everything's got an ishing at the end, right? So this may
Hmm.
be wishing because it's on or bishing because it's on a browser. I don't know.
Wishing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's funny.
Yeah.
We'll move on to we'll move on to number two.
Okay.
Um, this
We
was
probably should.
yeah, this was a data breach and it exposes personal information of 2.2 million shoppers. And I'm gonna have
Oh,
you
yeah.
say the name of this because
Oh, good luck with that. I was hoping that you would. Um,
Ahold Delhaize.
sure.
I,
That'll
I'm
work.
sorry if I butchered that. I probably did. I didn't want to. Anyway, so yeah, they had a data breach exposing personal information of 2.2 million shoppers.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
That's a lot of people.
Um, yeah, apparently it was contained to just Maine, though. Do I have that right?
Oh,
Is that
I read there was 100,000 of them in Maine alone. I don't know if it was,
100,000 in
yeah, because
Maine?
they're based in North Carolina.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay. Total shoppers with 95.4 of those being Maine residents. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, so the company is offering 24 months of complimentary credit monitoring and identity protection services through Experian, which I think is really cool, and I think that's what should happen. But it made me
Right.
think, it got my wheels turning.
Cool.
What does that cost?
Probably $20 per user per month. 29. I think I paid 29 for mine for the different credit unions or credit bureaus.
So maybe let's hope that maybe they got a little bit of a deal, but even if they didn't, that is a ton of money.
Right.
That is
Well,
so much money.
that's those hidden costs, right? So not only do they have to fix the issue, so if we call it $30 per, you're
Hmm.
talking about $70 million a year. Actually, it's
Ouch.
more than that. So if it's
Yeah.
$30 per user per month times 2.2, I mean, you're talking about $840 million a year,
Yeah.
roughly.
So I feel like that's the right way to do it.
Right.
But even if someone had good intentions and wanted to, not everyone can afford that. Not everyone
No,
can
no,
do
no, no.
that.
And I'm sure they're not paying that. I'm sure that
Sure,
they're paying like
sure.
10 million or 20 million a year, but still,
Still,
yeah,
yikes.
yeah, that adds to the cost. Plus, you still got to fix the issue.
Yeah, that is a hidden cost that I don't think is discussed enough. And so,
No, people don't think
I
about it.
no, I mean, I know we've talked about it before and we've had other news stories that we talked about, but I don't think I looked at it from that angle of what does this service cost them because they have to pay for it. They're providing this service to all of those millions of people. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, yeah,
Also, this mentioned regulatory scrutiny is expected to intensify. So not only do they have
yeah,
this huge bill, they're also dealing with this backlash
yeah.
of the
And I,
entire thing.
and I honestly think that regulatory scrutiny should intensify for everyone.
Hmm. Yeah,
You know,
that's fair. Because
you know,
maybe keep this from happening.
Yeah, well, and things like, we do a lot of HIPAA compliance, but it'd be really nice if there was like a HIPAA actual audit other than a company auditing someone for HIPAA. This would be like someone like there's an actual standard and then you go do actual HIPAA audits with fines and everything else. And the same thing with, security framework compliance because, people just ignore this stuff. They half-ass it, honestly. And,
Yeah, that
you
seems
know,
like it should be
until
in
you
place already.
until you put teeth in it.
Yeah, it is kind of mind-blowing though that it hasn't reached that yet. How are we
No.
not there yet?
I don't know.
That's a
Yeah, I mean,
great
PCI is the
question.
only one I really know of that has fines.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have big
Not
fines.
HIPAA.
Not HIPAA.
Just a wall
Not,
of shame.
yeah. And oh, that's right. The wall of shame. NIST doesn't. CMMC, I don't know if there's just if there's fines or you just can't do business or it's a combination of the two. ISO,
Oh,
nothing that I'm aware of. Now, and SOC 2, absolutely nothing. It's just that you lose business and if you're not compliant,
yeah.
then there's no way to enforce it, which is a problem with all these tools out there that say, we'll make sure you're in compliant. And if you spend X number of dollars with us, and it's like, well, that's just sunk cost because, nobody's
Yeah.
forcing me
Right.
to be compliant.
Right. Uh, it does make me wonder though why it's still just like we don't really have anything. It's not something I really need to worry about when millions of dollars. If you want to do the right thing and provide your clients or customers or whoever you're dealing with this kind of service after you've dropped the ball,
Hmm.
ah,
I think it's the philosophy of we'll deal with it if it happens, and then I'm sure they have an insurance policy that's covering some of it, but still.
maybe, but yeah, but still, it just blows my mind that it's not more widely talked about or
Well,
understood or
remember too that when you get into the C-suites of these larger companies, they're politicians. They're not actually leaders. Or they may be leaders, but they're really politicians, and they're more concerned about the company's bottom line than anything else.
yeah, yeah,
So,
that's too bad. Well, I mean,
but we
anyway,
are at RITC Cybersecurity. We care a lot.
right. We do, and we're going to help you while you're still small, medium sized. So when you are big and famous, you're going to have all of these great
Mm,
practices in place already.
exactly. Your foundation will be firmly built.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Okay. That's all I had for that news story. I don't know if you
I
had
think
anything
that's
else.
enough.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
News story. News story number 3.
Okay.
FBI warns of scattered spiders expanding attacks on airlines using
Yeah.
social engineering.
This is a
That's,
scary story.
I was just gonna say, yeah, that's not scary at all, right? What did you think when you read this story?
I That I don't fly.
Oh, okay.
No, it really gives you an example of what hackers can do. I mean, this whole
Hmm.
thing at the combination of it gets back to the combination of the technical and the social engineering,
Hmm.
but the invasiveness they get even from using AI to replicate the CFO's voice and force help the force to help because that's guys that do things. I mean, and honestly, if you're like a level one tech guy who's been in IT for a year and the CFO of this company calls you and says, I want this done now,
Hmm.
what are you going to say? No, I have to call my boss. What? And it's 5 o'clock on a Friday afternoon and you just want to go home,
Hmm.
you know.
You don't think they have any like processes in place?
There should be, but in reality, I mean, the human nature is they're going to try and help and they're going to try and fix this, and it's just a simple thing. So we'll
Oh,
just go ahead and do this for you. Um, and if you instill enough fear, I mean, think about it. You're just out of college, or you've got a bunch of student loan debt. You got this, that, and the other thing, and all of a sudden the CFO of the company happens to call and is like, "I need this right now." You're going to be like, "Okay,
yeah.
yes, sir,
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
yes,
that's too
ma'am."
bad. Um,
Yeah.
let's see. This said in a matter of hours, the group can breach, establish persistent access, harvest sensitive data, disable recovery mechanisms,
Hmm.
and detonate ransomware across both on-premises and cloud environments.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It's nasty. And then they do scorched earth on the way back out and just burn everything down and then close their firewall
Oh
port
my
that they opened.
gosh. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
That's hardcore stuff.
Social engineering. It's so evil.
Fascinating. Yeah.
It is. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is fascinating. But man, I'm like, that's heartless. That
But,
is,
I mean, yeah, I mean, these people employ like psychologists and psychiatrists, and I mean, they, analyze and all the psyop stuff. You've got all these former spooks running around with all the psyop skills. What else are they going to do?
yeah, that's a good question. What else?
Yeah. So, I mean,
Probably a lot of things that we haven't even thought of yet.
yeah, exactly.
That's scary.
And most humans are going to react the same way to the same stimuli. If I do A, you're going to do B.
Yeah, humans are pretty predictable.
We're not quite as smart as we think we are.
Unfortunately.
No.
Unfortunately.
So,
All right, last one. I don't have a whole lot on this one, but it's the hidden risks of SaaS, software as a service,
mhm.
why built-in protections aren't enough for modern data resilience, which I think is a good question.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, I mean, obviously it's not enough, but what are your thoughts?
I actually found this article pretty interesting because it really relates to a lot of the people that we deal with on a regular basis because
Right.
and I've dealt with for years is that, they assume the cloud is going to do all the protections. And it's like they don't realize that it's shared services. It is
Mm-hmm.
not dedicated the cloud. You're not paying the cloud to do everything for you.
Right.
And after all, the cloud is just somebody else's computer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
but just because you have your services at AWS doesn't mean they're going to do all your security for you. They're going to set you up at AWS and you're going to have this set up and they're going to be like, all right, go. And you're going to like, okay, cool. Everything's secure. No, it's not.
No,
But
it's not.
the other thing I found fascinating about this is that people don't think about backups to the cloud. I mean, they don't think about backing up their data. There's like, oh, it's the cloud's problem. It's like, no, it's not. It's your problem. It's your data.
Whew. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the shared security thing is a big deal, and people just don't get it. Especially like we've been dealing with like the last stories we did last podcast and this podcast is that when it's a financially driven decision instead of a when the technology leaders are not making the decision and the security people are not involved, and it's driven by the financial people or the
Mm-hmm.
business unit owners, they're not taking into account all these things because they don't understand
Right.
what's needed.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
There are some out there that do, but by and large, they just want to get the product to market and they don't care about anything else.
Something else they mentioned in there with the software as a service, with the rise of that comes subtle, dangerous assumption that the convenience of SaaS extends to resilience.
Hmm.
Like you said, that they think that now that they have this, it's like we're good, we're set.
Right.
But really, and I know there are some things in place already with those types of programs. I understand that, but like you said, it's not all there. It's not everything you need.
You still got to set up backups. You still got to, I mean, and ideally, you should also back it up locally at some point. I mean, somehow you need to bring it out of the cloud as a backup, and there are tools out there that'll let you do it, but at least backing it up to a different region or backing it up to something else because things can go wrong.
Yep. Yeah,
So,
that's for sure.
yeah,
Uh, at least that's one thing that's consistent. Things can go wrong.
100%.
Uh, well, that's all I had for news. It was very
Cool.
exciting today.
Yes, extremely. I laughed, I cried.
Yes,
It became part of me.
I can tell. I can tell. So we'll move on to topic for this week, and that is device
Cool.
theft and security. So I just found 10 points of discussion, and we can go through them one at a time
Okay.
if you're good with that.
I'm amenable.
Cool. I'll allow it.
Hmm.
First one I have is to lock your devices down. So password, a PIN, a fingerprint because we don't like the
No
facial
faces.
recognition, and MFA. Why don't we like, I know we've talked about it, but why don't we like the facial recognition?
Because I can spoof it with a picture, or I can force you to open it if I have control of you and the device.
Yeah.
I've shared this story before, but there's a news article I read about a reporter in a third world country that has secret police, and they accused him of being a spy, and tried to force his face to his phone to open it, not realizing the dude was smart enough to have a pin.
Hmm. Didn't
So,
work.
nope.
Too bad.
Yeah,
Yikes.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so obviously a password or a PIN, fingerprint, and MFA. So I guess that doesn't really work on your, maybe I don't know, or maybe you can tell me,
Okay.
MFA, multi-factor authentication, on your initial login to a device,
Yeah, you
unless
can do
it's, so it would
it.
be like on your laptop, it could be sent to your, your phone, but we don't love text messages.
No. You can use
So
an authenticator tool or you use a hard token like the UB keys that we
UB
use.
keys. Hmm.
And typically it has to be, I mean, to do multi-factor, small companies, we're not going to do that. It's going to be a bigger company. It's going to be, your Boeings, your Wells Fargos, your Kublers, your whatever, Nabiscos,
Hmm.
companies that are really big. that are going to have the technology to do that. So,
Interesting.
yeah. So, but I
Um,
mean, any control is important, but you've got to have something, and face is not it, and your password can't be password.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Exactly.
0, 0, 0, 0.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Number two, enable remote tracking and wipe. So like Find My or Intune remote wipe, which I would like to talk more about.
Okay.
Intune a little later if we have time. Anyway, so yeah, so enable remote tracking and wipe. So I do have obviously Find My just on my phone
Hmm.
already. I just heard about, we just talked about the Intune.
Hmm.
That does multiple things, so
Right.
correct. Yeah,
Hmm.
okay. Are there any others that you would recommend?
Well, there's GIMP and there's Ninja and there's a couple others out there, I'm sure. Those are the ones I'm familiar with. There's a bunch of small companies that do it. But everybody's got a mobile device manager. In a larger company, they're critical.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. Number three is physical security, so don't leave
hold
your
on.
device unattended.
Let me add something to number two.
Okay.
Typically, if you have like even BYOD phones in your business, like you're not
Hmm.
providing phones to your employees, it is a good idea to have a mobile device policy or a
Hmm.
BYOD policy where you say, we are going to, in order to have our company data on your phone, you have to allow us to install our mobile device manager. Should that
Yeah.
employee leave, you need to be able to wipe your data off of there.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay. That's fair. I was thinking more from like a personal perspective, not necessarily from a company perspective.
Well,
So
you get a lot of people that will push back on that. And it's like, well, it's my
yeah.
phone, but it's like, well, it's my data.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
you don't have to use, you don't have to put that on your phone,
Hmm.
right? So,
Hmm. I wonder how often that happens and if people really push back. Do they offer to provide a work phone, like specifically work only phone?
a
That
lot of
seems
people will provide, well, I think a lot of people now are going to BYODs and people are just signing off on that. But for those companies, like in other companies that I worked for, always provided a work phone that
hmm.
we just turned into your personal phone back
Oh,
then,
oh,
or you carried the work phone when you were on call or something of that nature.
yeah.
But yeah, there's a while I was carrying two cell phones, which sucked. But anyway, um, yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I actually have a real life example of someone that we do know that they were rolling out Cloudflare
Mm-hmm.
to their employees, and they said, well, you can do the authenticator app on your phone, and people actually pushed back on it and said, no, we're not doing that.
Really?
Yeah, so they had to go with YubiKeys because people didn't want to use their phones.
Just the app,
Yeah,
just the
they
authenticator.
didn't want anything installed, and it was about 10% of their install base, so it came out to be like 200 or 300 people.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, so they had to go invest in YubiKeys, which the company then eats the cost, whereas the app is
Mhm.
free.
Right.
So, so
And
those are the
why
hidden
didn't,
costs of security.
yeah, I wonder why even that, because it doesn't seem like that's,
It's not a big deal, but some people are just paranoid about that stuff. What are you looking at? What are you doing? What are you know? Um,
yeah. I mean, I'm just looking at it from my perspective, the one I have. It's like it's not like you just scan,
yeah,
excuse me, you just scan.
yeah,
I think it gives you your code and that's it.
yeah,
You're done. That's
yeah.
okay.
It's
That's
not
fine.
a big deal, but people are paranoid about that stuff. And also, one of the weird things they came out is they found out that something like 1% of those people actually had flip phones.
What?
So, yeah, and it wouldn't support it. And it's like, okay, well, I can understand that
Yeah,
then,
it's
but
just not gonna
well, I
work.
don't understand where you got a flip phone, but um,
How do you still? That's funny.
yeah,
That's funny.
yeah.
All right. Number three, physical security.
Mhm.
So don't leave your device unattended. And we brought up cable locks earlier,
Mhm.
but can you explain a little more what that is,
Well,
actually?
cable lock is just like a lock that you attach to your desk so your laptop can't get picked up at your desk, right? Or you can attach it to you attach it to your laptop and then you can wrap it around something like a table leg or something like that if you happen to be like at a Starbucks or something. It's just a
How is it
cable lock. So,
like you locking up your bike?
yeah. pretty much,
How
except
does
it,
it?
connects to the back of your. Now, it's not going to do on all laptops. Like our Macs aren't going to do that, aren't going to support that. But
Yeah.
you need to have some kind of attachment on it that allows you to lock to it. Yeah.
Okay. I
So,
had no idea that was a thing.
yeah,
It's an
that's a thing.
actual
It's an
cable
actual
lock.
cable lock. It looks like a bike lock. Yeah.
That's really funny to me,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah. You can get your
That's
own little key and all kinds of fun stuff.
yeah. Okay.
And
Okay.
I wonder how many times those keys get lost. Yeah. And
Oh,
then it's
that's
like,
for sure.
well, I guess, Miss Cherry, that you can't work this weekend. You can't take your laptop home, or you have to spend the weekend at work.
Bolt cutters.
There you go.
Uh,
I'm gonna go out to my truck. I'll be right back.
yeah. 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Be cautious of your surroundings. So,
Mhm.
I mean, I don't go places a whole lot, especially for work.
Yeah.
If I do, though, this little laptop case I have, though, it has like a little wrist strap, so I just put it on my wrist and I can carry it, no problem. My phone is always on my person,
Right.
but yeah, I guess I don't work out in public, so I don't really have any ideas of what other people like use or think about.
Well, yeah. And well, the problem is a lot of people don't think about it. I mean, they take your
Yeah.
laptop to Starbucks, or you got it out at the airport, or whatever.
Hmm.
And we have this scenario that we brought up in a couple of our IR tabletop exercises, right? Where, a disturbance or something happens at the airport and someone
Yeah.
takes your laptop. Well, you're actually logged into it.
Hmm.
What do you do? Kind of thing. And, how do you protect yourself from that? So, and that's where a mobile device manager comes into play because you'll be able to wipe it or do whatever. But, once it's unlocked and on your passwords in it. Now you need to have an auto lock, and that's why we recommend 10 minutes or so. But you can also add that figure that if it's not plugged into something, that it's like 2 minutes or 5 minutes or something like that, which drives your users nuts, but it keeps it more secure because as long as you're logged in, that BitLocker control or whatever, whatever Apple uses, that encrypts your drive is disengaged as long as you're logged in.
Okay. Okay. Um, yeah, that makes sense. I also, this is different,
Yeah.
but when I will like go places with my kids, if they're not in front of me,
Hmm.
then I make sure that I have at least one hand on them,
Yeah.
So it's like I just do it without thinking about it. So I
Hmm.
think there are just maybe little things that people can do if you do travel a lot,
Yeah.
make it a habit of
Yeah.
keeping it in sight or on your person. There's ways to do
Exactly.
it. And
I,
and if crazy things happen, there's like you just explained, there's a
yeah.
backup.
Yeah. And then in all honesty, unless someone is literally stalking you, like they had someone create the disturbance so they could steal your laptop or something like that, that
Right.
that laptop that gets stolen 9 times out of 10, probably 9.5 times out of 10 is going to wind up in a pawn shop and they're just
Hmm.
going to wipe it anyway.
Hmm.
But you never know.
I mean, I have
So,
got all kinds of crazy data that people would want. So
yeah, I'm sure you do.
no, I don't, but I'm sure someone out there does. Someone somewhere out
Somebody
there.
does. But, here's the other thing. Don't work at the airport. Just wait for your plane, have a drink, go relax on the plane. When I
Is
traveled all the time for a living, I considered as soon as I got to the passenger lounge, I was off. Now, if I was traveling for a customer, they were paying me, but I was off. I wasn't on my laptop. I
yeah,
wasn't on my
downtime.
phone. It was like, you're
They
now
knew it
paying
was
for me to
travel
travel.
time.
Yeah.
You knew it was travel time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And whatever they've got going can wait till I get home or the next business day.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
fair. That's probably honestly a good practice for busy people anyway to just take a
People
minute,
don't disconnect enough.
self-care.
And, we're both guilty of this, so don't think
Hmm.
like we're perfect at it. I mean, I work 6 and 7 days a week. Mari works 6 and 7 days a week sometimes.
Hmm.
So, but that's also the nature of the startup. And,
Right.
but, even though in my last startup, which wasn't a startup anymore, when I was 8 years old, I was still working 6 days a week. So you need to enjoy life. And, a lot of people won't get it. I have to get ahead. I have to get ahead. But it's like you're destroying yourself in reality in the long term.
Right, right. Because,
Yeah.
yeah, my first initial thought was like, oh, sitting at the airport, that's at least 2 hours of just sitting there. I could open up my laptop and work
Or you could read a book.
uninterrupted. Right. That would be the better option,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, just leave it. Because you could, my backpack, it has a spot on it, you can lock it.
Hmm.
So even if I did have it open for whatever reason, if I had it close to me, I would have a place for a lock. So if I
Right.
absolutely needed to get something in there, I could. But if not,
Right.
anyway, whatever.
Yep. No, it's a big one. I mean, and people are just not aware of their physical surroundings a lot. I mean,
That's true. This is off
yeah.
topic too, but
Yeah.
in that motorcycle class I took, they talked a lot about peripheral vision,
Hmm.
and I didn't do the actual exercise, but because I was afraid. But I was like, it made me think of like, yeah, what are you actually paying attention to that is not,
Yeah.
everyone has so much tunnel vision.
Hmm.
It's bad
Yeah.
that what is going on around you that people just don't even think about, especially if you're like when a doom
Yeah.
scrolling or
Yeah.
addicted to
Exactly.
your phone.
And Instagramming or whatever you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I I actually learned peripheral vision very young because I was playing hockey, and you have to have
Oh
eyes
yeah.
around because you
Yeah.
don't know where someone's coming from that's going to just deck you.
Yeah, and
So,
that's pretty brutal sports.
yeah.
You
So,
gotta be
but
careful.
yeah, we got like 180-degree vision, if
Yeah,
not better. So,
nice.
yeah.
All right. Number four, encrypt your data. Full
Mhm.
disk encryption. What is that?
That's the BitLocker that we were talking about in Apple's version of whatever it's called. I don't remember off the top of my head, where we encrypt the drive completely. So if the drive is laptop is off or whatever the machine is off and or even if
Mhm.
the machine's on but you're not logged into it, if it's locked or whatever, if someone were to steal it, they can't pull that data off the drive without your password.
Oh, okay. Okay. Is
So
that is that something that like obviously businesses would do it, but is there like a step
everybody should do
down
it.
yeah, a step down version that most people
No,
could
everybody should do it regardless.
what would be your recommendation?
Well, it comes native to the computers now. So you
Oh,
just
okay.
click a button like on the Macs, we just click a button and turn it on.
Hmm.
Same thing on Microsoft, believe it or not. It's very simple. I think it's actually enabled by
Wait, was
default.
that something positive? Was that a
No, it's the same thing as patting a 4-year-old on the head for not making it to the toilet on time.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, number five, back it up. Regular
Yes.
backups.
Yes.
Use secure cloud storage or encrypted external drives. So, secure cloud storage,
Yes.
what would that
I don't
be?
trust it.
Yeah.
That's backing up to the cloud. And so just like that, you're putting it on somebody else's computer.
Hmm.
So, and my thing is, when I worked for a very large bank, they created their own cloud and they didn't trust any of their data to somebody else's cloud. Now they have more money than God, but you know, they built their own cloud so they could keep their data there. Well, if the bank is going to do that with their data, why would I do that with my data? Why wouldn't I back up? So I use encrypted drives that get stored in a safe.
Yes. Yeah.
So
External drives
yes.
that you plug in,
Yep.
back everything up, and they go
Take it
somewhere
right
else.
off. Yep. Yeah, that
Nice.
are encrypted. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you recommend people at home doing that?
I would 100% recommend everybody do that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure some people would be like, that seems extreme for my,
Well,
you
but
know.
it's not just theft. What if your house catches on fire? What if, your 10-year-old spills a Diet Coke all over your laptop or whatever? I mean,
But it's in the
think,
cloud.
but things happen. Well, yeah. If you have the password memorized, right? Do you? Oh no, it's on the password keeper on my laptop. Oh, well, how are you going to get into that, bud? Uh, I don't know.
That's a good one. That's
Yeah.
a good one.
Yeah.
Okay. Number six, don't ignore alerts. So unusual login attempts,
Hmm.
new locations, and always investigate security alerts. So just
Yep.
don't just be like, yeah, sure, whatever. Which it happens a lot, basically every time I sign on to this Mac. It's like, was this you? And it's like, yeah, it's been me every time.
Yeah.
But I still go in and I check the box and I make sure it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I get notified every time you log in.
Do you?
Hmm.
I don't like that.
No, sorry. It's not that I'm tracking you. It's just our mail system says log in by Mari Cherry. That's all.
You're probably like, this doesn't happen often enough.
You know. What about the other 6 days a week?
Oh,
No, but yeah, it's. I don't know if it's every time or it's when you haven't logged in for a while. Like if you've been off for a couple days or whatever, like on a weekend.
mm,
I think I don't remember, but I do get them periodically.
mhm, mhm.
So, or if you log in from your phone versus your
Yeah, because I do have my work email.
on your phone.
We're just gonna move on from that.
Okay.
Uh, won't give out too much information.
No.
7. Company devices should be enrolled in MDM.
Yes.
Corporate devices enrolled in Microsoft Intune, which we brought that up before, and
Hmm.
I do have a little list of things about that I wanted to go
Okay.
over if we have
Sure.
time.
Sure.
Um,
And just remember, it's not MDMA. It's MDM.
dang it. Okay. Do you have anything to add to that?
I agree with it, but I mean, there's other tools out there besides. I mean, they need to be in an MDM. It doesn't necessarily have to be in Intune.
Yeah. Like VMware, Workspace ONE, Jamf,
Hmm.
that would be okay. Um,
Ninja. Yeah.
let's see. 8, don't auto connect to public Wi-Fi,
Yes.
which we just talked about that. So listen to our last episode if you want to know
Yes.
why.
And it's
No, just
very
kidding.
in-depth and riveting.
Yes. Unsecured networks lead to data theft, so use a VPN. Again,
Hmm.
listen to the last episode.
Yeah.
9, uh, wipe before you recycle or sell.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we touched on that a little bit too. Factory reset plus sign out of
Yes.
cloud accounts or whatever else.
Everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have a story about that? I feel like you've got something else to say.
Oh, yeah. I've got many stories about that. And and then I've dealt with people that have forgotten what their iPhone password is or iPhone, or Apple account, and you can't wipe it because you need that to be able to log in first to turn that off, especially if you have Find My Phone enabled. So
I've never done that.
you've never wiped it?
Forgotten my password.
Oh, forgotten your password?
No, too often.
Yeah. No, yeah, I
See,
was
it's
gonna
so
say,
good,
really?
even I don't know it.
Yeah, there you go. That's how you know it's secure. But yeah, I mean, there's lots of stories in that. I mean, there's a story I've shared before about, one of the companies I was working for swore up and down when they had secure recycle for their devices. So they were selling the devices with the hard drives to this reseller because
Hmm.
in the contract, it said they had to be wiped. Well, we did a little audit and
Hmm.
lo and behold, none of the devices were wiped. And this is a while
Oh
ago. So
no.
there was PCI data on it. There was
Oh no.
EPHI data on it. There was all sorts of stuff on there that should not have been there. So including our Wi-Fi SSIDs, all that kind of stuff. And it was like, so at that point, because the extra $10 for it to have the hard drive in it was not worth exploiting the company, we literally seized all of our devices, took them back, pulled the hard drives out, and that was back when there's still the spinning disk, so you could just drill a hole in it.
Oh, for real? You
Yeah,
just drill a hole in it.
yeah, because it wasn't recoverable at that point, or drill a couple holes. Um,
That was probably kind of fun, actually.
yeah, well, we still take them out in the desert and shoot them too.
Yeah,
So.
target practice.
Mhm. But now with the solid state ones, you literally have to have them shredded.
And there's places
Yeah.
that do that,
Yeah,
specific
they'll crush them or
facilities
shred
that,
them. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, number 10, awareness is the first defense.
Yes.
I feel like that applies to a lot of different things. But
Yes, it
anyway,
does.
many thefts are crimes of opportunity. So maybe don't set your phone on the restaurant table or
Pay attention to
airport
it. Yeah.
seat next to you or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I've got. All 10.
Don't
Do you have
fall asleep
anything?
with your phone in your hand in on
Yeah,
the subway.
on the subway.
They actually had
Yikes.
this thing though on the subways of New York. This was a while ago. That
Hmm.
people know that people are keeping their wallets in their front left pocket. They were coming in literally cutting their pocket, the bottom of their pocket, and taking the knife out. And they were so good at it, people didn't realize it was happening.
That's a sharp knife.
Yeah. And that's a very unaware person. But, think about how crowded those subways are. I mean, you're in there like
Ugh.
a sardine. People are bumping up on against you all the time. So if somebody bumps up at you, you're not going to necessarily know it, right? So,
Yeah. Oh man, there's a few reasons I live in the middle of nowhere.
yeah, you and me both. Um,
And it's still too crowded.
yeah, it is for me.
That's privilege.
People ruin everything.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Okay, so we brought up a couple, but there was, let's see. So VMware Workspace ONE, Jamf,
Hmm.
which I've heard that name before.
Oh,
Um,
lots.
Cisco,
Hmm.
Google Endpoint Management, and I'm gonna butcher this, I think, but
Well,
Kanji,
kanji.
Kanji. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, anyway, so I actually didn't have time, but I had to type it up, but I had found some like pros and cons for each one, and it kind of
Okay.
um sort of compared them to each other, and I thought that was really cool. So I'm would like to do that, and I wish I had had time to do that for the episode. But maybe
Uh,
we can just have an episode like that, of like a
well, we just
bonus
talk about
episode
them.
or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that we just talk about them. So then it's just then we can put that information out there. Then it's there. People can be like, I was thinking about this one. How does it compare to this for these
Hmm.
specific things? Because some of them worked better with different like programs.
Yeah.
And so
Well, I know
I
like
thought,
Jamf is really good for Apple, whereas
yeah,
some of the other.
yeah. So I thought there was a lot of useful information. I just didn't have time.
I'm,
Plus, I think we definitely would have gone over if we did that. But
yeah, probably.
anyway, yeah, that's all I've got for device theft and security. Is there anything you want to add?
I know I can't think. I mean, obviously, you want to be careful. You want to put as much control in place as possible. But situational awareness is still critical, regardless of what technical controls are in place.
Hmm.
And as anything else, your humans are always going to be your weakest link. Someone's
Hmm.
always going to do something stupid. Someone's always going to leave something somewhere. Someone's going to, leave their phone or their laptop in the back of a taxi because they're in a hurry to get to a plane, and whatever. It's just gonna,
Yeah.
yeah. So actually, that actually adds something that we didn't really talk about. It's education. You need to
Mm.
educate your users, make them listen to this podcast. But but educate your users on what's really needed and what kind of protections are in place, what kind of protections are required. And I think some of the training um, tools out there will teach you that. But there's no reason that your cybersecurity team can't put together a quick set of slides. Like, there's a
Sure.
policy that we provide to our clients that, it's like how to set up phone security at Verizon or T-Mobile or whatever, um, to protect certain things. And, so those are the kind of simple situational awareness things that really help.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Cool.
cool,
Well,
cool,
great.
cool,
With
cool.
that, I've got some questions we could blow through real quick if
Let's do
you want to do
questions.
that. Questions, speed round, right? All right.
Yep,
Number one,
okay.
what security programs do you recommend for protecting and wiping devices?
Well, that would be your MDMs like Ninja, Jamf, Intune, those kind of ones.
All right.
So, and those work on phones, those work on laptops, those work on, the problem you're going to find with that though is going to be your user pushback, but we can talk about
Hmm.
that another time.
Yeah. And anyone can use those, right? Even people at home.
Yeah, but those are enterprise grade stuff. I mean, there's other ones that are out there that end users can use, like Find My Phone and stuff that, Apple, I think, provides the ability for you to wipe
Hmm.
an iPhone remotely. So
Yeah. Okay. Number two, what is the first thing you should do if your device is stolen?
call the IT department, call the police. Or, I found some helpful websites that said find your phone, which, you know, whatever. If you have Find My Phone, then try and, track it using your device. I mean, you want to know where it is, and you hope that you've got an automatic lock on it, so that doesn't have facial recognition.
Yeah. That's that's pretty good. Okay, number three, is a locked screen enough to protect your data?
It is enough that it'll keep the encrypt in place on the hard drive.
Okay,
But if someone has your password, then it does nothing for you.
right. Okay, number four, how often do you recommend a backup?
Weekly at minimum.
Okay. For anyone,
Everybody.
everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. 5. Oh, we went through this one already, but not in the
Did we?
question. Sorry. Yeah.
That's okay.
5. What is cable lock and would you recommend it?
Yes, and the cable lock hasn't changed since we last talked about it 10 minutes ago. But yes, it's a lock for your laptop that attaches to your
Like
desk
a
or,
bike lock.
yeah, exactly.
Silly.
Yeah. Could be a
Would you,
combination, could be a key, who knows?
yeah, would you recommend it?
I think, I mean, if depending on the type of job that you have, yeah, depending on how much, if you're traveling, if you have the ability to do it, it's just cumbersome and people don't like to use them. But, being
Yeah.
security people, it's like, yeah, lock the thing down.
All right. Why is face recognition not a good idea?
Because you can hack face recognition with a picture of your face, or you can be forced to open it with just
Hmm.
your face,
Hmm.
especially if you're traveling internationally in places that are not so friendly.
Yes. Okay. Why should you avoid using Remember Me when signing on?
Oh, because that stores your credentials. And that, if it remember me, that gives you half of the login, right? I mean, so you've got a username already.
Hmm.
But also remember me will also store a cookie in there that probably can get opened up with that data in there. And it also, well, actually, more appropriately, it eliminates the need for MFA
Okay.
because it's got
Yeah.
a cookie stored that says we remember this person. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. 8. Would you recommend full disk encryption?
yes,
All right. 9. What is one way to secure a laptop during travel?
keep it off. Keep it on your person. Know where it is. Keep it in a bag.
Don't use it. Take that time
Don't use
to
it. Yeah, take the
reset.
time to read. Call your kids. Something, I don't know.
Okay, number 10. What security settings should you check before logging into accounts on shared public devices?
Well, you need to make sure that your VPN is on, that auto log on is off.
Hmm.
Um, I feel
Maybe
like
don't
you're
click
waiting for
that,
more.
remember me.
Yeah, don't click remember me. I
Anyway.
I wouldn't recommend sharing personal data either, or highly
Hmm.
confidential data. So
Well, that's great.
cool. Did I pass?
Yeah, yeah, barely.
Cool.
No, I'm just
Cool. Well,
kidding.
I get to keep my job another day.
Yeah, yeah, you still have a job.
Cool.
Uh, yeah, that's all I've got for topic today.
That's it.
That's it. That's all.
All right.